Okay, good morning once again and welcome back to the today's second session of online class in subject corporate finance. This is Dr. Mahesh M. Onjeri, assistant professor from Department of Management Studies, SDM College of Engineering and Technology, Dharwad. Okay, so we are learning chapter number 11 from unit 3, cost of capital. So we are now learning to calculate weighted average cost of capital. So in the previous two classes, so we have learned how to compute weighted average cost of capital using historical weights. So among historical weights, we have learned how to calculate weighted average cost of capital using book value weights, how to calculate weighted average cost of capital using market value weights. And what we learned is the cost of capital, okay, computed using market value weights are always higher than the cost of capital computed using book value weights. It is so because the market value of the securities are always higher than the book value of the securities. That is the first information to remember. The second thing, as the proportion of debt in the total capital increases, it brings down the cost of capital. Okay, but beyond a limit, if debt is used in the total capital, if debt is increased in the total capital, it also increases financial risk of the firm and makes the securities of the firm unattractive or less attractive to the investors. Hence, there will be a drop in the market price of the securities of that firm, and therefore the objective of maximization of shareholders' wealth cannot be achieved. So debt has to be used very optimally. Okay, in unit 5, where we learn leverages. So we'll understand how to use debt, at the more appropriate level. Then the third type of computation of weighted average cost of capital was using marginal weights. Okay, so after learning how to calculate weighted average cost of capital using book value weights, market value weights, and marginal weights, so we are moving on to two additional problems. So I'm going to solve now. So with that, we are going to conclude unit 3. And if once I complete the syllabus, still a long, we have to go a long way. So if time remains, I can solve further new problems. From each unit, I can solve some additional problems further. But for the time being, so the maximum that is possible. So I'm doing. So the first additional problem, is on cost of debt. Okay. So sorry, it is on market portfolio and security. Return of each security using CAPM, capital asset pricing model. So cost of equity, using capital asset pricing model. So now in additional problems, the problems will be mixed. They will not come in a sequence the way we have learned. So there will be a mix of problems. So we'll go ahead with example 11.1. Okay. So as an investment manager, so as an investment manager, you are given the following information. Okay. So this is the data given to us. Okay. So let us see what is the data. Investment in equity shares of. Okay. So the investment is made in the equity shares of 3 companies. So we're going to learn Cement Limited, 25 rupees. The dividends, on this equity share of Cement Limited is 2 rupees. Year-end market price of the Cement Limited equity shares is 50 rupees. So there is an appreciation. Then beta risk factor, is 0.8. So remember, it is not cost of capital. It is beta risk factor. 0.8. Equity shares of Steel Limited. Initial price was 35 rupees. Dividend on Steel Limited is 2 rupees. And year-end market price is 60 rupees. It means there is again The equity share prices of Steel Limited also has increased. Beta risk factor of Steel Limited is 0.7. Then Liquor Limited. Okay. So initial price, okay, is 45. The dividend on equity shares of Liquor Limited is also 2 rupees. And the year-end market price of Liquor Limited is 135. Okay, the market price of the equity shares has soared. Okay, of Liquor Limited. So under present circumstances, okay, we can understand. Just a joke. Okay. So beta risk factor of Liquor Limited is 0.5. Okay. Then investment is also made in Government of India bonds. It's not a bond, sorry. BONDS bonds. So investment in Government of India bonds. Initial price of the bond was 1000 rupees. Dividend, okay, or interest on bonds is 140 rupees. And year-end market price is 1005 rupees. And the beta risk factor is 0.99. Okay. And there is one more data given. Risk-free return is 8%. Risk-free return is 8%. Okay. So this is the data given. Now you are required to calculate expected rate of return of market portfolio. So you are expected to, okay, you are required to calculate expected rate of return of market portfolio. First part of the question. Second part, expected return in each security. Expected return in each security using capital asset pricing model. Okay. So I'll just repeat again. You are required to calculate expected rate of return of market portfolio. So for non-commerce students and even among commerce students, try to understand what is the market portfolio. When securities are invested in a diversified manner, or when the investments are done in a diversified manner. Diversified manner means investments are not made in a single company. All the investments are not made in a securities of a single company or in a single industry. Investments are made across the industries and within industries again across different companies. So this is done to diversify the risk. For example, say look here, the portfolio of this investor or this company includes in two types of securities. One is equity, okay, another is debt. Okay, bond is nothing but a debt. Okay, so investment in equity and investment in debt. So there are two securities are used. Then within equity shares, if you look at, okay, so equity shares are purchased from cement industry, one company. Equity shares of one company in steel industry is also purchased, and equity shares from one company in liquor industry or alcoholic beverage industry are also purchased. See what the company is doing? It is diversifying its risk by investing into different industries. So equity shares of 3 different industries are purchased here. Our investment is made in 3 equity shares of 3 different industries. One is cement limited, cement industry, steel industry, and liquor industry, as well as in government bonds. So this is nothing but the market portfolio. It is called as a portfolio or a market portfolio. I hope things are clear. Now, what we are required to calculate? We are required to calculate expected rate of return of the market portfolio. So say, let us say if a company has invested in this portfolio or in this pattern, what will be the total return of its investment is called as market returns of market portfolio. Okay, so we can also find out the return in each individual security. Like we can find out the return in equity shares of cement limited, we can find out the return in equity shares of steel limited, we can find out the returns in equity shares of liquor limited, as well as we can find out the returns in government of India bonds. So second part of the question is you are required to calculate expected return in each security 1, 2, 3, 4 using capital asset pricing model. So here in this problem, how it is different, capital asset pricing model is used to find out the returns of market portfolio as well as expected return in each security, okay, and not cost of equity capital. So you can expect such problems. So you need to be paying attention. So solution to the first part of the question, expected rate of return on market portfolio. Expected rate of return of market portfolio. So in this table, all amounts are in rupees. So we are going to prepare a table like this with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Column 1, security, type of security. Column 2, dividends. Column 3, return on capital appreciation. Column 4, total of column 2 and column 3, that is nothing but total returns. And column 5, okay, is investment. Okay, so now how we are going to find out the expected rate of returns of market portfolio, the returns on this entire pattern of investment or the returns on this entire portfolio. So Cement Limited, equity shares of Cement Limited, the dividends earned are 2 rupees and the return on capital appreciation. See if we can make out, the initial price of equity share of Cement Limited was 25 rupees, but at the end of the year, the market share of Cement Limited has increased to 50 rupees. So what is the difference between the year-end price and the initial price? So the company has purchased the equity share of Cement Limited for 25 rupees, but the present market price of equity shares of Cement Limited is 50 rupees. If the company, okay, wants to sell equity share of Cement Limited, now it can sell it at 50 rupees. So the company has purchased the share at 25 rupees, but now it can sell it at 50 rupees. So there is a difference of 25 rupees is nothing but capital appreciation. Okay, the difference is nothing but capital appreciation. Okay, so return on capital appreciation for Cement Limited is 50 rupees minus year-end market price minus initial price 25 rupees. So it is denoted here. Return on capital appreciation of Cement Limited is 50 minus 25 is equal to 25 rupees. Same way, the return on capital appreciation of Steel Limited, okay, year-end market initial price of the equity share of Steel Limited company was 35 rupees and the year-end market price of the equity share of Steel Limited is 60 rupees. So what is the capital appreciation? 60 minus 35. That is what we can see here. 60 minus 35 is equal to 25 rupees is the capital appreciation even in case of equity share of Steel Limited. Liquor Limited, what is the capital appreciation? Initial price was 45 rupees. Year-end market price has increased to 135 rupees. Okay, so 135 minus 45, the return on capital appreciation on equity shares of Liquor Limited is 90 rupees. Then government of bonds, okay, dividends or interest paid on the government of bond of India. So here it is, okay, considered them as synonymly, so don't get confused with the dividend on bonds. So 140 rupees the dividend or return on government of India bonds. Okay, it is written under the column 100 dividends. And the appreciation, initially the market price of government of bonds of India is 1000 rupees. Even you can trade these bonds, and the year-end market price of government of India bonds is 1005 rupees. So 1005 minus 1000 is equal to 5 rupees the capital appreciation for government of India bonds. Okay, now we need to add, okay, column 2 and column 3 to get the total returns. So 2 rupee dividend plus 25 rupee capital appreciation is equal to 27 rupees. The total returns for equity shares of Cement Limited. In case of Steel Limited, the total returns are 2 rupee dividend plus 25 rupee capital appreciation is equal to 27 rupees. In case of Liquor Limited, 2 rupee dividend plus 90 rupee capital appreciation is equal to 92 rupee the total returns. Government of India bonds, 140 rupee dividend plus 5 rupee capital appreciation. So 145 rupee the total returns on Government of India bonds. Okay. So we need to total this column 27 plus 27 plus 92 plus 145 is equal to 291. So these are the total returns. These are the total returns. And investment also, initial price of each security 25 plus 35 plus 45 plus 1000. These are nothing but initial prices of the security is equal to 1105. So this is our total returns and this is our total investment. So easily you can calculate the return on market portfolio. KM is equal to total returns 291 divided by total investment 1105. So it is a simple formula. So KM is equal to total returns 291 divided by total investment 1105 is equal to 0.2633. So if you multiply that by 100, you get the percentage. You can convert it into percentage by multiplying by 100. So the expected return on market portfolio KM is 26.33%. Okay, I repeat, we have answered the first question. You are required to calculate expected rate of return on market portfolio. So the expected rate of return on market portfolio KM is 26.33%. Okay. So I have explained in detail. I took more time because this is not a regular problem. So this problem has got a twist because we are using capital asset pricing model, but we are not calculating cost of equity capital. We are calculating returns of market portfolio, which we did right now. It is 26.33%. And now we are going to move on to calculate expected return in each security. Okay. So expected return in each security in percentage. So we are going to refer the same equation. Okay. By using the same equation, okay, so we are going to get the expected return in each individual security, or this expected return in individual security is nothing but the minimum rate of return. Expected return, okay, on individual security is nothing but the minimum rate of return. Okay, so required, hence we use the same equation. KE is equal to RF plus B into bracket KM minus RF. Okay, so what is RF? If you can recall, RF is nothing but risk-free return. RF is nothing but a risk-free return, which is given in the problem as 8%. B is beta risk factor. The beta risk factor for each individual security is given in the problem. Okay. Then KM. KM is nothing but expected return on market portfolio, which we have calculated for, okay, this given data. So it will be same for each. So the expected return on market portfolio is KM, which we have calculated here already. RF is again same, risk-free rate of return. So if we can fill the values, in case of each security, we get the return on expected return on individual security, or it is the minimum rate of return. Hence, we are using the same equation. K is equal to RF plus B into bracket KM minus RF, bracket complete. I also explained individual components of the equation. So let us calculate the return on equity shares of Cement Limited. So RF, Risk-free rate of return is 8%. We are going to write as it is. No need to convert it into decimals because all the figures will be in percentages only. And beta risk factor is in decimals, so it will not affect our calculation. So RF is 8% plus beta for Cement Limited. You can check it from the equation. So Cement Limited beta risk factor is 0.8. So I'm going to fill it in the equation. So beta is 0.8 into bracket Km. I have just determined here about 26.33%. Okay, minus RF. RF is already given in the problem. It is the risk-free rate of return, which we have already written here. Same thing you need to write, 8%. So if you simplify this equation, so the answer will be 22.66%. So I'll explain the meaning of this 22.66%. Please pay attention. So what we have found is expected rate of return, expected return on individual security. So in this case, we have calculated the return on equity shares of Cement Limited. So what does this 22.66% means? So it is the expected return on equity shares of Cement Limited. The investor of the investor or the firm which has invested in the equity share of Cement Limited is expecting a return of 22.6% on his or her investment. See, then it also becomes the minimum rate of return. So if a company is using these funds, okay, if Cement Limited is using, okay, the capital raised by way of issue of equity shares, okay, into a capital project, okay, the minimum rate that Cement Limited should earn on its investment is 22.6%, which is nothing but cost of equity capital. Okay, so this is how very intelligently, so this equation of capital asset pricing model is used to find out the return in individual security. And for those who are not very clear, not able to understand this concept, you simply understand that 22.66% is nothing but the cost of equity capital of Cement Limited. That's it. Cost of equity capital in case of Cement Limited. That's it. So Steel Limited, expected return in individual security. So expected return in equity share of Steel Limited. So RF is 8%. It is common for all. Risk-free rate of return. Then beta risk factor for Steel Limited is 0.7. It is given in the problem. So beta risk factor for Steel Limited is 0.7. Okay. So 8% plus 0.7. Then into bracket KM, market return on market portfolio 26.33 minus risk-free rate of return 8%. So if you simplify, you will get the expected return on equity shares of Steel Limited is 20.83%. The Liquor Limited, RF 8% plus beta risk factor 0.5 is given in the problem. Beta risk factor Liquor Limited 0.5 into bracket KM, the expected return on market portfolio 26.33%, which we have calculated, minus RF 8%. So once you simplify the equation, the answer you get is 17.16%. So the expected return on equity shares of Liquor Limited is 17.16%. Similarly, the expected return in investment of Government of India bonds, RF is 8% plus beta factor for Government of India bonds is 0.99. The same we write here, 0.99 into bracket KM, the risk-free rate, KM is the return on market portfolio, which we have already calculated, 26.33 minus 8% RF. That is the risk-free rate of return. So once we simplify the formula, what we get is 26.15% is the expected return on Government of India bonds. So we have answered both the questions. Question number 1, you are required to calculate expected rate of return on a market portfolio, KM. So I have found the expected rate of return on a market portfolio, KM, by dividing the total returns 291 by the total investment, that is 1105, and the return on market portfolio is 26.33%. Second question, expected return in each security. Both we did it using CAPM model. So expected return in each security: Cement Limited 22.66%, Steel Limited 20.83%, Liquor Limited 17.16%, and expected return in Government of India bonds 26.15%. Okay, so I think I will not be able to continue with the next problem. So where you are asked to calculate both weighted average cost of capital using book value weights and market value weights. No problem. So I'll continue in the next class. So today is Friday. So on Monday, I'll continue with this example, which is also appeared in the old question paper for 10 marks. Now I'm going to unmute you all. Okay. So if you have any doubts, okay, you please ask. And those students who do not have any doubts or questions, please remember to mute your audio. Thank you. Okay, who is drawing on the screen? Please erase it. Yeah, they can hear me, I think. Any questions from students or any doubts? Okay, so until I receive a question, so I have always, every time I have told in the class, okay, so while solving the numericals, you need to read the problem carefully. You need to consider the data given in the problem, and then you need to decide, okay, the problem belongs to which unit, okay, or which concept. So is it about calculating weighted average cost of capital? If yes, then is it based on book value weights, or is it based on market value weights, or is it based on marginal weights? Then you should go ahead as per the steps. So reading and understanding the problem is very important. And today's this problem especially, okay, where you are asked to calculate the returns of market portfolio as well as, okay, the return in each security using CAPM, capital asset pricing model. See, it is simple, but you need to know the approach. Yes, Sharon, any question? Ashutosh, any question? Ashutosh, can you hear me? Ashutosh, can you hear me? Your audio is already unmuted. Okay. See, in the first class itself, I think I shared PowerPoint slides of chapter number 11. You please, all of you, please visit Google Classroom of Corporate Finance. Okay, and in a very, okay, systematic manner. Okay, all the resources of corporate finance are shared. Okay, so starting from unit 1. Okay, so the way, the sequence in which I have covered syllabus in the same sequence, unit wise, chapter wise, I have shared each data. Each data includes PowerPoint slides, notes in PDF format, numerical problem solved in PDF format, okay, as well as the YouTube links for my all video classes. Okay, and this PDF file which I am referring today to teach, now along with the today's 2 video links, I will share this, okay, PDF file also. So all the numericals solved in unit 3 will be here in one place. Okay. and this is not a PowerPoint slide. Okay, it is a Word document where I solved the problems. I converted them into PDF file. PowerPoint slides is already shared, I think. You can check the Google Classroom. Just in case if it is not shared, I will share the PowerPoint slide as well. But yeah, when I share, remember PowerPoint slide, PDF file, okay, as well as numericals, notes, and video links. Everything is shared. Okay then, so still 5 minutes are there, but our objective is achieved for today. So my next class will be on Monday at 10 o'clock. So I will solve this problem. I'll solve this problem. Okay, and I will conclude unit 3. Okay, so then I'll go ahead with either unit 4 or unit 5, which I will let you know by tomorrow or by Sunday, and I will send the related resources also in advance. Okay, so thank you all for your active participation in the class. So I hope you are able to learn, okay, and we are making productive use of the available resources. Okay, and anytime you have any doubt while preparing for the class, okay, please feel free to ask during the class itself, or even if you have a doubt later, please feel free to call me. But remember to clarify your doubts. Okay, so 1 minute, I will unmute.
Sir,
Okay.
sir, one doubt, sir.
Ask me.
Sir, calculation is wrong, sir. I think that.
Sir, can you please go down, sir? Where you calculated that 8% plus 0.81, sir.
This one. Okay, so I hope the doubt is clarified. Okay, it was simplifying. It is about how to simplify. So once again, you need to first, okay, find out the difference between 26.33% minus 8%. Okay, so which will be 18.33% multiplied by 0.8. So whatever the product you get, you add that to 8%, and the answer will be 22.66%. So this is how you simplify. So if you can recall, I always told, okay, so many students arrive till here, correct, okay, but in simple, okay, while simplifying the equations, okay, where you forget the basic rules, okay, your answer will be wrong. So your 8th, 9th, 10th mathematics you need to recall here, okay, for simplification. So I hope okay, all the doubts are clarified. Okay, so then I thank you all for your active participation in the class. See you again on Monday with either unit 4 or unit 5, which I will let you know by tomorrow.